President Akufo-Addo has announced the progressive easing of restrictions on social gatherings. Now, per the directives announced by the president, Muslims as well as Christians can begin to hold services, but under strict adherence to other directives that he put out, including limiting numbers to 100 people and worshipping within a time space of 1 hour. We want to understand how the various stakeholders appreciate these directives and how they hope to implement them. We're starting off on this edition of the Citi Newsroom with the Muslims who, per the directives, can begin prayers or congregational prayers from Friday, the 5th of June, 2020. And so we are starting from the Hajia Miriam Ajwa May Masara Mosque here off the Kanda Highway, and we're going to speak to the leadership of the mosque to find out what their thoughts are on this matter. We have the spokesperson for the mosque here, and we want to find out how they have received the news and then what preparations they have put in place ahead of Friday, June 5, where the president has given clearance that, in fact, Muslims can congregate and observe their prayers. Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom.
Welcome. Thank you, sir.
So you may have heard the president and the directives he has given. Briefly, what are your thoughts on that?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We thank God, we thank Almighty Allah for our president of the Republic of Ghana. I think God gave the president of the nation knowledge. That is what we call the hikmah, to give 5 days ahead of what he says. What our president says means that all the Muslims have to prepare their mosques. We can't just open our mosques for 2 months just like that to allow people to come in to pray. Inshallah, we have done meeting here and we succeed our mission. We talked to our chairman and then our Imam that this is what the president says. We allowed 100 people to start prayer in the mosque. And then it means we have to bring intervals among our people to start prayers on Friday. And inshallah, the committee chairman and then the organizer with the imam, we decided to bring the bucket with water and then the soap, sanitizer through the doors of the mosque, because we want our people to come into the mosque with their ablution, with the sanitizer, everything, inshallah. And then we talk about this into our ideas. Everybody that you're supposed to come to our mosque, you have to hold sajada. Sajada is 1 man, 1 seat. So if you are coming with it, then you come and put it on your side, you pray on it. Even this, after we finish our meeting, we went to our sprayer, the one that will come and put medicine and spray the whole mosque. He charges us his money, we pay him, we give him his full money that he's supposed to come and do it on Thursday night, because we wash the mosque on Wednesday, and then Thursday he will come and spray the whole mosque, because we don't know where the sickness is. So the whole, both the men and the female side, will wash all the places and spray it, inshallah, on Thursday. Before Friday morning, we're beginning our prayers on the mosque.
What time are you starting prayers on Friday?
Yeah, inshallah, our prayers will begin on 12:30. The imam will start the utbah, and we talk our chief imam. At least we cannot make the utbah more than 20 minutes. The utbah will be short, 15 minutes, and we take the 5 minutes to pray. Then everybody will go his way.
Some individual churches have issued communications to their members that although they agree with the partial easing of the restrictions, they will not be holding services for their members because they want to ensure the safety of these members. One of these churches is the Maker's House Chapel International. Let's go there and speak to the authorities there to find out what informed such a decision. Let's welcome Dr. Michael Boadinya Meche and engage him, of course, on these directives, how they have been received, and of course what his thoughts are. Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so on a typical Sunday, how many congregants are we in here?
This space itself sits about 5,000 people, and so on a typical Sunday, if you're having a full service, that's the number of people you are expecting to have.
So these directives are announced by the president. First of all, how are you receiving this? And then going forward, what are your thoughts and how are you hoping to go by them?
I think it's a very good thing. The churches need to be opened. I strongly believe they need to be open. I believe it's a prophetic engagement or a prophetic statement from the leader of the state. I believe that through consultations, he's been able to come out with the fact that the faith-based organizations also drive development, not just because we are not just physical beings, we have our spiritual and our soulish dimensions as well. So I strongly believe what the president has done is a step in the right direction. Just that it doesn't suit every church. I mean, every church has their own peculiar or unique challenges. Ours, for instance, to say we are going to do 100 people in a service, and looking at the size and the number of people that are supposed to be here means we'll be doing about 50 services. So we have to do, if it's an hour per service, we are thinking about doing about 50 hours, and that is an impossibility. Not just to the infrastructure, it's also to against the health and the people who are supposed to be active players in the service. So for us as a church, we are not going to do the services, even as the president wants us to, has given the directive that churches can meet, which we agree, we believe churches can meet. But for us, we cannot just meet yet because of the numbers and the peculiar challenges we have. We believe that over time, when the restrictions are eased a little bit, we believe over time we'll be able to cut. We really want people to come back to church as quickly as possible, but we also feel that for us, we are not ready yet. And so once we are able to know that logistically we are ready, it makes sense to gather all of them or to gather people into this space, we will. But until then, we believe that we can still reach out to people via the social media platforms.
Thank you very much, Dr. Michael Boadinya Meche of the Makers House, giving us his position and that of the church. We're going to bring you other perspectives in respect to this particular issue. The National Association of Charismatic and Christian Churches has welcomed the directive of the president. They have issued a statement to back that, and so we're going to speak to the General Secretary of the association, Bishop Gideon Titi Ofer. Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom.
Thank you.
We're grateful for the opportunity. Please, were you part of the consultations, and then were you expecting these directives from the president?
Well, the chairman of the National Association of Charismatic and Christian Churches, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, has been very much involved in terms of discussions leading to the partial opening and the easing of the restrictions on large gatherings. So I must say that at that level, consultation has been very good. I think traditionally the presidency has realized that churches play a very major role in terms of national development and other things. So it hasn't only been consultation at the level of the closure of church, but in other areas as well. And we are grateful to government for involving us at that level.
Let's look at the specifics with respect to the directives issued by the president. Practically, how do we hope to do so?
Okay, so the numbers, we also are looking at the 25% the president, as an association, we are scratching our heads. We are thinking, when the president says 25% of the church should meet with a maximum number of 100, it's a bit confusing. Thankfully, the president had indicated that the Minister for Religious Affairs will give details. We want to understand whether the 25, if we have a church of 1,000 people, 25% is 250. The president is saying that 250 should meet 100, 150. Or if the church of 1,000 people will, of course, have a large facility to accommodate that 1,000 people. If 25% of them meet, they will be able to create that 1 meter social distance rule. So we need to see how practicable is these things. Okay, but you see, the problem with usually the way we do our discourse is that we do a lot of elitist thinking. Everybody is thinking about churches with large congregation, but you see, this also favors a large number of churches, because there are people whose congregation members are 20, 25, 100, 200, 300, 400, and these are in the majority. So for them, the president's directive favors them. And so we are suggesting that the district assembly should be involved in these processes. For instance, the district public health directorate should be involved. The first thing I think that should be done is that there should be a meeting of senior pastors and some church leaders, and probably health officials who worship in those churches at that level to meet. There should be a training of trainers program to train. The assumption that people are going to rush is probably might not be the case, because people are still very careful as to what to go. So once you create multiple services, you are able to get people to come in. But don't also forget that most of these churches, the big churches, already have multiple chapels on their same premises. Wedding chapels, different chapels, choir rehearsals chapels, and all those things. Once one service is going on and you come and it's above 100, there will always be a place where people can be made to wait whilst observing the social distance, then they'll come. Again, the introduction of online services have been very successful, very, very successful. I still think a large number of people will still stay at home and watch the services from home.